in the storm right now, everybody. It is quite intense. My friends, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. I hope you all are doing well. We are surrounded by thunderstorms at this time. Because of that, I need to do less talking and more setting up. I need to get some protection set up before any storms potentially hit. Folks, I'm going to get to work. We'll talk more in just a minute. My friends, we now have the tarp set up. We have full protection from whatever may be coming our way. I'm going to continue on setting up camp here, and then we'll make some coffee. First things first, let me tell you all a little bit about this trip and what's taking place today. If everything goes according to plan, later on today, going into night, it will rain. In fact, it's beginning to rain right now. As you all can see, I've set up this large tarp. Underneath this tarp, I'm going to set up an instant pop-up tent. This is a plan that I've had in mind for a while, and in this episode, I'm going to test it out. Will it work? Will it be a success? We shall see together. Everyone, I want you all to pay close attention to the way that I have this tarp set up. You can see on the camera there basically that I have it set up at a slope. That way all of the water, it hits one side and goes down to the other side of the tarp onto the ground. With a tarp this big, you really do have to control the direction of the water. That way it doesn't pool on top of your tarp, because if it pools, it'll rip that thing down. It'll pull it right out of the ground, or it'll pull the tree out of the ground. On this side of the tarp, I have it raised up very high. On this side over here, it's lower. That way it's naturally sloped, and all of the rainwater goes to one side and down onto the ground. And looks like for now the rain is ceasing. We'll take this opportunity and we'll continue to set up camp. Let's get that done and over with. A strong thunderstorm approaching the area now. Rain is about to begin again, and already I'm seeing some pretty wicked flashes of lightning. The lightning is definitely getting close, the thunder is too. With that last strike, it actually made me flinch. I can feel the energy in the air. So we do have to be careful, we do have to be smart. If I see that this storm is basically coming right overhead with lots of lightning, I'm going to get inside of the 4Runner for protection's sake. When you go out for a trip, it's about fun and safety and not getting struck by lightning. This is what is taking place. A strong thunderstorm will impact this area. At 3:16 p.m., Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm moving this direction at 25 miles an hour. Wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour and pea-sized hail should be expected. Gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. The good news is that I got the coffee done in the nick of time. The bad news, or the exciting news, is that we are about to be hit by a strong thunderstorm. Unless something happens, of course. The sky over here is just about black. Lots and lots of lightning lots and lots of thunder. All we can do now is just stand here and wait. Wait and see what happens. Cheers, everyone. Cheers. You know, folks, it is so incredibly humid. It's unbelievable. It's one of the reasons why we're having these strong storms today. It is absolutely coming down, folks. Buckets of water. So far, the tarp is doing great. Nice and secure, and I'm fully protected. Look at the water coming off of this tarp. We are in the storm right now, everybody. It is quite intense. As you all can see here, the amount of rain is overwhelming this tarp. That's why I'm having to adjust it and push the water off. The tarp has begun to stretch, and that's why it's pulling down. Let's go! Woo! So far, everyone, we're making it through this storm in one piece. We're doing good. It is unbelievable how much water has fallen, how much rain. Everything here is flooded except for what's underneath this tarp. To solve the issue with the water pulling, I took one of the poles and I moved it. Basically pitched it higher so the water would roll off of the tarp. It's still raining quite hard out there, but it's not as heavy as it was before. That, my friends, was intense. Yes. A good thunderstorm, some good coffee, some good friends. Life is good. Cheers. It looks like we have some visitors, everyone. Check this out. What those are turkeys. And those are turkeys that have grown up here, basically been raised at Lone Wolf Mountain. They're completely wild. I remember seeing them when they were just babies, and now they're almost fully grown. It's amazing how they're still together. It's cool. I've mentioned it before, but Lone Wolf Mountain is a paradise. It really is. Deer, black bear, turkeys, coyotes, bobcats, you name it, we have it. It is 4:25 and it's still pouring the rain out there. It's absolutely coming down. Just in case you're wondering why those turkeys came up here and they weren't afraid of me, that's because I was staying completely still. I didn't move a muscle and they didn't know I was here. So basically they walked all the way up right into my camp before I got tired and turned the camera off. How cool is that? You know what I mean? I love it. It sounds like the rain is slacking off now. That's good. What's not good is the fact that we cannot have a fire tonight. This is the second trip out. I wanted to have a fire, but that's a no-go. Everything here is just soaking wet. I mean, super, super wet. The only dry spot here at Lone Wolf Mountain is underneath this tarp. And that's for now. Who knows what's going to happen later on tonight. Here's the thing, folks. We had rain and storms today. We're supposed to have rain and storms tonight and also tomorrow. And then after that, the big storm system is coming in. Hurricane Helene is supposed to come right over the top of us, or at least that's the last forecast that I saw. Right now, it's looking like it's going to really pound this area. We're talking about some serious flooding, a ton of rain. I've seen maybe 8-10 inches of rain so far being forecasted. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a very wet last couple of weeks, that's for sure. Recently, in an overnight adventure, I was talking about this table here. This is the latest table from One Tigress. Now, there are problems with this table. Unfortunately, it's not that great because it's heavy and complicated to put together, so I don't know. Interesting. It's raining again, everyone. It stopped for maybe 20 minutes, but it's back on. I tell you what, before it starts raining too hard, let's go ahead and set up our tent tonight and get all of our bedding ready. Check out this setup, everybody. This is going to be interesting. Let's take a second here and let's talk about this tent that I have set up underneath this tarp. This is a very inexpensive tent that I purchased. I can tell you all this. There's no way this tent is waterproof. The seams are not taped, nothing like that. But yet, this tent has some interesting features. First off, it is covered in mesh. There's 2 windows, 2 doors, all covered in mesh. The top of the tent is covered in mesh. When I saw this, I was thinking about not camping in it outside of a tarp, but underneath a tarp. That way the tent stays dry, but yet I can have excellent airflow because there's so many different options with the doors and the windows. So let's say that it's raining, right? I can close those sides over there, leave this side open, and maybe even this side. It's all about the direction of the spray, the wind, and so on. I don't remember what this tent cost exactly, but I can tell you all it was less than $100. So you have the tarp, you have the cheap tent, and you're set, you're good for an adventure. With a tarp like this, it does take some skill to pitch it. It does take basically some time to figure out how to do this. It's really not something that I can teach you all. It's one of those things where you have to get out in the field and do it yourself. Practice makes perfect. When it comes to a shelter like this, with a big tarp, there are so many little nuances that will have big impacts. So again, it's one of those things that you have to really just go out into the field and learn. But if you do take the time to learn how to pitch a tarp, how to make adjustments, how to stay safe with one, there is a world of camping opportunities out there that you can do for a relatively low price, such as this. My friends, as you can see here, dinner is ready. I can tell you 2 things about this. 1, it smells incredible. 2, I made way too much. I could feed an entire army. Seriously. There's this plus everything else. I messed up, but hey, whatever. What we are looking at here is a chili lime rice bowl with jasmine rice. We have some broccoli, we have some seasoned pork, along with some cheese, some tortilla chips, and some taco sauce. Oh yeah. Let's give this a shot, everyone. It looks good, smells good, but is it good? Wow, that is freaking awesome. As it stands right now, everyone, it is super, super foggy. I mean, really, really foggy. It's really dense. At the same time, it's quite wet. It's drizzling out there just a little bit. The forecast for later on tonight is again strong thunderstorms. In fact, not too far from here, a little while ago, there was a reported tornado on the ground. I was talking to my daughter a little while ago, and she said that she had a really good day until she slammed her finger in her car door. She is currently at urgent care where she lives at. Just in case you don't know, she's in the military, in the Navy. She is not currently deployed, but she has been deployed twice. Afghanistan once, Germany once, and she does have another deployment coming up at some point in time. I am so incredibly proud of her. She's done so well for herself. She went into the Navy, and when she did her placement test, she blew my mind. She impressed the hell out of me. She impressed everybody, including herself. Afterwards, she went into military intelligence. I'm not really going to talk about what she does. It is, without a doubt, classified. It's above my pay grade, and yours too, so... As an update, everyone, we are currently surrounded by thunderstorms and rain showers. The sky is just non-stop flashing. Here in just a little bit, it looks like the rain will begin, and we will be testing out not only our tarp shelter, but this tent underneath it. I've been having a good time just standing back, staring up at the sky, watching the lightning flashes. It's been non-stop. Nature's fireworks. It's amazing. One interesting thing, I've been standing here watching this. All of a sudden, there was a dramatic temperature shift, and that's why I have my jacket on now. All of a sudden, the temperature dropped down 10 degrees. I can instantly feel it. The storms are close to us. I mean, close enough to pull the heat out of the atmosphere here. Basically, they're using it as energy. Soon, everyone, it'll be raining here. We are now under a flash flood watch. Portions of northwest North Carolina, including this area, in effect now. Excessive runoff may result in flooding of rivers, creeks, streams, and other low-lying areas. Without a doubt, everyone, we have a lot of rain coming our way. Not only with what's coming in right now, but later on tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, and so on. We're not even talking about the hurricane that's on its way. Tomorrow morning, we'll talk about that and the impacts that are forecasted right now. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is 8 o'clock. Without a doubt, I slept in, and my excuse for that is pretty much the weather. I got up at 6 and it was just super foggy, super wet. I just decided to sleep in. Why not? I tell you what, it is coffee time, and once we have coffee done, we'll talk about the weather that's coming in. Things are quite serious. It's not looking good for here in the mountains. It's not looking good for a lot of places though. Good coffee, folks. Good coffee. Good morning, everyone. It is a wet mess this morning. As far as last night goes and the weather, we had storms surrounding us all night long, but nothing ever did come here. It would drizzle a little bit, it would rain a little bit, and then stop, and that was about it. And basically, the trend continues for, well, let's see. The trend continues this morning until this afternoon. So that's thunder there. I mean, there's storms out there. But anyway, supposedly we're going to have a dry morning. And then this afternoon, impacts from the hurricane will begin to be felt here in the mountains. It's not like a direct effect of the hurricane, it's an indirect effect. That storm system is already so large that it's throwing moisture into the mountains. Starting this afternoon, it'll be one of the most wild weather events that we've had here in the mountains in years. Not counting all of the rain that we get today and tomorrow and so on, but as soon as the hurricane arrives, we will have 12 hours of heavy rainfall. And we're looking between 8 to 12 inches of rain, with winds over 60 miles an hour. Prepare now, do not wait. Flooding is expected in your area from Tropical Cyclone Helene. If I can, I will show you all the weather model and what it expects. We are up here in the corner of North Carolina. Down here is the hurricane. Watch as this comes in. Comes up, and look at all that moisture streaming into the mountains. Right over the top of us. I've seen these type of storms come up before from the coast. Whenever they come up this way, the mountains always get it. When a storm comes up that direction and the moisture is hitting the mountains, it basically acts like a ringer, and it wrings the moisture out of those hurricanes right into the mountains. As I mentioned in previous episodes, I've been basically doing some experimenting with weather models, trying to learn how all of that stuff works and how to do my own forecasting. And so far, I've predicted 3 storm systems for the mountains here correctly. I mentioned the potential for this weather system over a week ago, before anybody was even talking about it. And what do you know, here it comes. I wish I was wrong though. This is a weather system that I'm not looking forward to. This much rain with those winds. It's going to cause a lot of damage. I tell you what, everybody. I think it's a smart idea to go ahead and wrap up this trip. I need to go home, unload the vehicle, I need to load up some tools and actually come back. I need to go ahead and begin getting all of the ditches and all that stuff ready to go. I need to make sure that they're cleared out. This area is about to receive a ton of rainfall. Again, we have a few hours this morning going into the afternoon where it's going to be dry, and then it's on. Our tarp shelter here worked out perfectly, in addition to our tent. This was the perfect setup. I slept so good last night. The ventilation was amazing. I stayed dry. Oh yeah. Not bad for a cheap setup. Not bad at all. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Make sure to check out my second YouTube channel, A Quiet Place Adventures. Brand new adventures every single week. To everyone who's going to be impacted or who has been impacted by the storm, my thoughts are with you. Good luck. Cheers to good luck. That's what we need right now. All right, everyone. I'm going home. Strength and honor. Bye for now.